Good evening. Welcome to the September 23rd,
That's right, Mom used to say that all the time. But I never knew that was like copyrighted.
I want to hear more about Uncompahgre sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember when somebody used it that long ago?
You did that in one day also.
Yeah, I did that from Matterhorn, so it was like 14,
Oh,
15
yeah.
Wow.
So worth it.
I think the 49ers beat.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the September 23rd, 2025 meeting of the City of Westminster Planning Commission. Anyone who would like to speak, please sign up at the back of the room. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Pegg,
Here.
Commissioner Kinnear,
Here.
Commissioner Zhang,
Present.
Commissioner Mayo,
Excused.
Vice Chair Carpenter,
Here.
Chair Boschert,
Here.
Commissioner Colling,
Excused.
Commissioner Dunn,
Here.
Commissioner Tomacek.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a quorum, and both alternates will be voting tonight. All right, we have one item on this evening's agenda, and that is item 3A, a public hearing and recommendation, child care amendments to the 2040 Comprehensive Plan. I hereby open the public hearing on item 3A, and it looks like we have Mr. Spurgeon to give a presentation this evening.
Good evening. How about I turn it on? Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Andrew Spurgeon, Principal Planner with the Community Services Department, and there we go. Hoping that would come up. I'm here tonight to present proposed text amendments to our 2040 Comprehensive Plan that would allow childcare as an allowed support commercial use within the plan's office and employment land use types. With this presentation tonight, the Commission is asked to hold a public hearing and then make a recommendation to the City Council on these proposed amendments that I'll be presenting. With this presentation, staff is hereby entering the agenda memo and its attachments into the public record. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Westminster Window on September 11th of this year. The purpose of these amendments is really to, again, update and make sure our comprehensive plan remains relevant. Managed growth is one of the four plan cornerstones of the comprehensive plan, and part of that is ensuring further employment development within Westminster. Employment development has a symbiotic relationship with childcare because businesses need childcare in order to attract and retain employees, and likewise, people are not looking for childcare services if they don't have jobs to go to. And more specifically, the 2025 strategic plan for the City of Westminster includes a specific operational initiative challenging staff to find ways to expand access and improve quality and reduce the cost of childcare in Westminster for residents and employers. So the text amendments have several components to them that are requiring these text changes. Currently, we do allow childcare in residential settings, typically a home-based environment, as well as in our commercial and mixed-use areas. That's typically what you see when you find a childcare facility in Westminster. These amendments, if approved, would allow childcare as what we call a support commercial use within our neighborhood office, employment flex, and employment office institutional land uses. If this is to be approved, it would basically allow childcare to be available at any land use in our comprehensive plan other than our parks and open space facilities. But then even there, the PRL department does run some childcare programs out of our recreation and library facilities. Support commercial uses in the comprehensive plan are optional complementary uses that support the viability of the primary use in the building, in this case as a place of employment. Currently, the support commercial is fairly limited. Restaurants, office supplies, things that maybe are secondary in nature to what's going on in the building, and this would add childcare to that list of allowed uses. A second main component of that is allowing a slightly greater size for the support commercial uses. These are currently fairly limited in our comprehensive plan, and this would increase the size allowance in the two employment land use types, the percentage size allowance, but the overall 15,000 square foot cap that's already in the comprehensive plan, that would remain in place. The child care facilities that we evaluated are typically smaller than that. The size limitations would also ensure that in these three land use categories, these are still primarily places of employment, with the child care being a supportive use, as the name would imply. Something that we did struggle with a little bit is a state regulatory requirement in order to get a license is having access to an outdoor play area, and the state law when I started looking into it, was surprisingly specific about how big it is and how close it is and how you get to it and how it's secured and so forth. So we think that could be challenging in some of the employment land use sites that may require ripping out parking or drive aisles, which we're happy to work with applicants on, subject to meeting other typical code requirements. We would propose in the places where industrial uses have been added through the PDP or ODP process to a specific site, we would not support childcare if there were actually industrial uses on a property, and that's just to minimize potential conflicts, safety issues from noises, exposure to hazardous materials, conflicts with freight traffic, and the kind of things you'd see in an industrial area. This would open up potentially 7% of the city's land area for childcare uses. Again, every land use type would allow childcare with this change. This slide just shows a few examples where a child care facility has located within a larger office building. So it's a good service for employees in those environments. So that's it. It's fairly simple text amendments in this case. Staff recommendation would be that you hold a public hearing, and then we would request that you recommend to City Council to approve an ordinance adopting these proposed amendments to the comprehensive plan. With your action tonight, we would docket this for the October 13th City Council agenda. Just as a reminder, these are just text changes to the plan. We're not actually changing the land use map on any particular property. That's something that would still be done through an individual land use case, such as you had at your last meeting. Or, yeah, that's right, you had Zerger the last meeting. That was a long meeting. In terms of our strategic plan alliance, this is relates to the priority of economic vitality. This is supported by providing access to childcare and office and employment land uses, which would meet the needs of the local workforce. This concludes our presentation. We're happy to take any questions after you hold the public hearing.
Thank you. And I actually have a question now. Would this ordinance affect residential daycare in any way?
No.
No. Okay. Any other questions from commissioners? Commissioner Tomachek?
Some businesses have childcare within their office. It's provided by that company. This, at least the examples you provided, appeared to be like third parties that would also locate in that building. Does this change differentiate between those two? How does that affect the calculations and mixes or anything like that?
That's a great question. We had that same question even amongst our own staff on that, so it's a great question. If a major employer today, one of the big firms out in Westmore, for example, a lot of those are full-service campus settings with cafeterias and workout facilities. If they were running their own childcare as a service for their employees, this amendment wouldn't be necessary. That would be an accessory use as part of the primary employment use. This would provide the opportunity for a third party, potentially commercial childcare facility to come into one of these buildings that's not maybe directly affiliated with the tenant or tenants of an office building.
To sort of build on that, if a third party moves into a building that already has a corporate run childcare in it, does that affect the 15% or 10% allowable area that they're allowed to occupy?
I think it would, yeah. We would look at them as a group.
Okay.
Vice Chair Carpenter?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple questions. Number one, it seems like the 30% of gross floor area textual change is kind of independent of the child care use. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's because we've had a few people actually propose this to us, and looking at the situations they showed us, that greater allowance would would accommodate the situations we've seen.
Okay, and I guess the other question on that, so since it's a support commercial use, so say, I'm thinking Westmore Building 3 that I used to work in, there's a cafe in there, for example. If they added a childcare, would that 30% include the childcare plus the restaurant?
Right.
So that 30%, so it's basically allowing for more of those types of uses or just more area of non-office related or uses in there.
Potentially, yes. Yeah, it's the childcare along with the restaurant, the pharmacy, the office supplies. Those would all be able to avail themselves of that greater percentage. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and since it's gross floor area, it probably doesn't matter if a major tenant left, it would still, as long as it was under that gross floor area, it wouldn't make a big deal, wouldn't be a problem either way.
Right, yeah, it's the building area, not its occupancy.
It's not occupancy based. Okay. All right, those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay, no more questions at this time. So, oh, you do, Commissioner Kinnear.
Thanks.
I'm sorry.
Were there any other state licensure or other issues that were discussed that might be implicated by this? That's question one that would be of concern to the applicants seeking approval.
So I'm not going to pretend to be a child care expert, but in the meetings we've had with people trying to do this, that seems to be the biggest issue, at least in terms of the land and how they could use it.
This is the outdoor space issue. Okay.
The other there would be other potential city impediments or regulations they would need to, be mindful of. Sometimes older buildings were built under different codes for group occupancies, things like fire sprinklers. We've had talks with one group that has a full dining program, and so the site would need to have grease traps and those kind of things. So there's various other reasons why probably not every office building would actually be able to do this.
Okay, and then on the issue that you kind of identified, where they need to develop some outdoor space and that might implicate parking or other things, is there a presumption or a preference given to approve these with these modifications to parking and other issues, or is it an ad hoc, we'll review it when we get it type of thing?
Yeah, we would review it case by case.
Okay.
We would still look for minimum parking to be met, and ensure there's the correct fire access routes to buildings and so forth. But understanding if they need to create one of these outdoor spaces, such as the one in this photo, it could. This was sort of hypothetical. It could hypothetically mean losing parking or reconfiguring how the site's been laid out.
Yeah, it was really just trying to understand, since this is satisfying one of the strategic plan goals, if this is going to be something that is given kind of a preference or presumption of validity if they're seeking this type of modification. Sounds like maybe not. It'd just be reviewed on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, I mean, it would be whenever we see, particularly in a multi-tenant building, different uses have different parking requirements, and we try to make sure we crunch the numbers the right way so they come out whole. Yeah.
Okay, great, thanks.
Okay, any more questions? Looks like no. So at this time, I would like to open the public testimony on this item, and first ask, did we receive any email or voicemail input on this?
No emails and no voicemails were received.
Thank you. In that case, it is open to anyone who would like to speak, and it looks like there's no one here, so I'm going to go ahead and close the public testimony portion of the hearing and ask if there's any questions from commissioners. Okay. In that case, any discussion? Nope. Oh, looks like Commissioner Pegg. Or,
I guess my one comment is concerning the parking, the interaction of this with parking requirements. And the fact of the matter is, I think this is dead on arrival. I'm going to vote to approve this, but nobody's going to reconfigure a whole site to make a playground. It's
Be surprised.
just not believable to me. And you're going to have to, I think you're going to have to relax on parking requirements in order to make this ever happen. Otherwise, I think it's great.
Vice Chair Carpenter?
Are we ready for a motion?
Yes, we are.
All right. I move the Planning Commission recommend City Council approve an ordinance amending the 2040 Comprehensive Plan.
Do we have a second? Commissioner Jean?
Oh.
Okay, Commissioner Jean seconded. Quick comment, I think, and I believe that as the workforce grows, childcare is going to become one of the major problems. So this is getting out in front of that. I appreciate that. I think it's a good idea. Any other comments? Okay, seeing none, I will call the question. Can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Pegg,
Yes.
Commissioner Kinnear,
Yes.
Commissioner Jean,
Yes.
Vice Chair Carpenter,
Yes.
Chair Boschert,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunn,
Yes.
Commissioner Tomacek.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes unanimously. And do we have any other old business, new business, miscellaneous business? Any comments? Okay, seeing none, this meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.